Know thyself. Long before the schools and the academies, a man from Miletus looked at the world and said, "Let us try to explain it." Thales, a practical thinker, a merchant's son, a man who walked the markets and watched the sky, he did not accept that storms were the work of caprice. He asked for causes. He proposed a startling thought for his time. Water is the first principle of everything. That idea, simple, daring, and natural, changed the way people looked at the world. It was the first hand turned from myth to method. Thales noticed patterns. Rivers carve, clouds gather, seeds swell with water. He suspected a unity beneath variety. He did not worship water. He used it as a clue, an emblem for a single, intelligible beginning to things. Aristotle later records this claim as Thales' foundational idea. Thales also observed life everywhere and spoke of the world as alive in a certain sense. All things are full of gods, a phrase preserved in our sources that conveys his feeling of wonder at natural agency rather than a return to myth. He taught that knowledge feeds the soul. Knowledge is the food of the soul. It was for him practical sustenance, a remedy against fear, a way to act in the world. Thales prized thought itself. He said that nothing is more active than thought, for it travels through the universe, and nothing is stronger than necessity, for all must submit to it. His aphorisms link mind and law. Thought explores, necessity constrains. He valued precision over chatter. A multitude of words is no proof of a prudent mind. He advised moderation in speech and humility in claim. For the first philosophers, quiet observation was more persuasive than loud assertion. He tested ideas in the world. He measured, he reasoned. Anecdotes say he used practical geometry, shadow and stick, to reason about heights. He predicted, he probed. His curiosity was hands-on. Though he turned his gaze outward, he never abandoned counsel about the inward life. The Delphic aphorism, "Know thyself," is linked to him in the tradition as an important moral challenge, the deep human work of self-knowledge. He recognized practical wisdom. Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. A version of the negative golden rule, simple and disciplined. He was frank about human weakness. Most men are bad, the remark of a realist who saw how ignorance and short sight distort action. For Thales, knowing oneself and acting justly were the antidotes. He urged us to mind our own business, to cultivate proportion rather than pretense, to live as craftsmen of the self rather than as actors on other people's stages. Thales trusted time as a judge. Time is the wisest counselor of all. He believed many truths reveal themselves with patience and observation. He also noted the human capacity to hope. Hope is the only good that is common to all men. Those who have nothing else possess hope still. This proverb appears repeatedly in the tradition attributed to the sages, including Thales, in later compilations. A reminder that curiosity and expectation fuel inquiry even in hardship. He balanced this with realism. The past is certain, the future obscure. Act from what is known. Prepare sensibly for what might come. Though the celebrated lever line is Archimedes, the image works as a way to read Thales. He gave us tools of thought that, when applied wisely, multiply our reach. What Thales actually did was simpler and deeper. He handed us a method. Look, measure, test, and let observation correct opinion. He counseled restraint in desire and care in judgment. He told us that the greatest thing is to know how to belong to oneself, to live with the integrity of a person who measures action by truth rather than by applause. He also prized the practical and the plain. A multitude of words is no proof of a prudent mind. Speak with clarity, act with proportion. Thales' greatness is less a list of propositions than a single shift, from explaining by myth to explaining by cause, from sacrifice to study, from fear to method. He taught that the cosmos can be read and that thought can travel across it. Nothing is more active than thought. He taught that necessity has its laws. Nothing is stronger than necessity. He taught patience. Time is the wisest counselor. He taught modesty. A multitude of words is no proof of a prudent mind. His teaching is an invitation, not to accept his answers as gospel, but to take up his method, to search, to measure, to doubt, and to care. Thales began with water and reason. He asked the first questions of the Western tradition and opened a new way of living with the world, one that honors curiosity, discipline, and the calm work of thought. Know thyself. Look, measure, and act. The world moves beneath the same laws he glimpsed. Our task is to learn them and to live by what we learn. I'm grateful for the moments shared in discourse. May our paths cross again in the fullness of time.